Okay, so let me show you some other ideas and things that we've done with P6-Calculator. So let's touch on dates and flags. Okay, so I'm going to use two different layouts here to show you the idea of dates and flags. Okay, so I'm using the same projects. I could have opened some others. It wouldn't really have made a difference. So in this set of projects, we have some a key in-service date. Okay, so lots of you must have milestones on your projects, whether it's to put electrical in production, or oil and gas in production, or handing over different areas of your project, different floors perhaps, different commissioning. We always have milestones we're targeting. Now, often you have commitments that you've made that you want to monitor against. And you can use baselines, of course, but a lot of our clients like to show them in their Gantt chart. So in this example, we have the current that P6 is scheduling, but we also have two other commitments that were made. And I've just shown them in different colors so you can get the idea of the sorts of things you can do in P6. So one is for our budget. So we might have put a budget together with a certain date promised for this C01 project. And we might have done a scenario at some point in time during the year, and we had a different date that we promised. And currently you can see here we're quite late in the in-service date being calculated by P6. Now, not only do we have those visibly in our Gantt, but sometimes you'll get asked, well, how many days late are we? Okay, so that's where we have these calculations automatically taking place. In this case, comparing the three different milestones and showing the different variances with a visual. So in this case, a stop sign because we're late, as well as a variance. Okay, and these are the variances here currently. So you can see not only are we showing them at the activity level, so that can be good for certain reports, but we're taking those same dates and we're putting them out here into the project level. So that's what we would call an automatic roll-up that we're doing, because this is much more easily communicated with a management team than digging into activities and showing them all of this stuff on these Gantt charts. Okay, so it's happening automatically. So how do you know it's happening automatically? Well, here, hopefully you can see the timing, but let me go ahead and reorganize these projects again one more time, just so you can see that in action, and then you should see these change as well. Okay, so the way that I did the reprioritization and the automatic logic was by changing the order. So let's just say I'm going to do project 1, 2, 5, 4, and I'm going to move 2 last. So I'm going to say it's going after project 4. So I'm going to redo that. Now it's going to go back and reschedule everything. And again, it might take a minute because I have a fair bit going on, but it should be a little less because I'm not switching the rig, which also contributed to the complexity. So it's going to go out and it's going to reschedule. It's going to redo the logic, I should say. Let's let it do that first. And then I can reschedule it. Okay. Now some of you may be familiar that we can have it automatically schedule certain things. So that's another option that you can have just to make it easier and have it reschedule. And I think what I'll do is also just go like this and bring this over so you can see it a little bit better. Okay. Okay, so I think it actually did it, and I think I'm actually looking on the wrong one. Just a second here. Make sure I'm looking at it correctly. What did I actually do? I moved to later, right? I should have been watching the values on here and I wasn't. So, Dan, did I do it right, or has it come up and I'm just not looking at it correctly? It could be. Because I should expect it to go later. I should expect this one to move later. And yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay, so it's rearranged it and it's recalculated the different dates and it updates it here. Okay, so that's what you're expecting to see, is some changes and recalculations. So again, the value that comes into mind, it's huge value for the reporting side of it. Okay, you can streamline your reporting significantly in doing this kind of work. Now, another way you could also look at this to see it a bit clearer is I can take the filter off that's in this screen, and I could also just change a duration. So that might be another way for you to see it a little bit more clearly on project C1 in this case. And I can just for the sake of simplicity, I'll just make this activity longer. Oops, sorry, I'm not typing in the right place. There we go. So I can also make this activity longer, which of course is going to push the milestones related to it. So I'll save that and I will also reschedule. And as you would expect, it's going to push things later. And then this is going to recalculate the variances. Okay. And since we're pushing it later, in this example, you expect things to get worse in terms of the variances. So if you look at the variances over here, I'll keep refreshing it and we should see some impacts. Okay, there we go. So we saw this go from, I think it was 116 to 136, and this one got worse as well. Okay, so that's automatically getting rolled up, if I scroll back over here, from the lower level values that are getting calculated as a result of this going longer, which pushed this out, and of course made us later. So we have lots of clients using this sort of feature, not necessarily exactly in the same manner, but this sort of idea is huge, and bringing it out to the project level, huge, so that they can report much more readily.